Well, the snow has stopped falling across the Tennessee Valley, but the temperatures, they're on their way down as we head into tomorrow morning. I'll have the details for you coming up.
Drivers are out and about now that the snow is pushed through. I'm Jim Abbott live in the WAAY 31 Storm Tracker in Huntsville with the latest on the road conditions and what road crews will be doing this afternoon to keep you safe.
And what the city of Huntsville is about to do to clamp down on people who drive cars with loud mufflers. Thank you so much for joining us for WAAY 31 News Midday on this Wednesday. I'm Chris Tatum. As you can see behind me right now, it is a bit of an overcast day out there, and there is snow on the ground. We have all hands on deck right now tracking this winter weather. We're team coverage. We start with, of course, in a moment with WAAY 31's Maddie McCaffrey and the Shoals. Jim Abbott keeping an eye on things here in Huntsville. First, though, we need to check in with meteorologist Amber Kulick. So, Amber, where is the snow at this point, and how cold is it going to get?
So now we're switching gears. The snow has pretty much stopped for us across the Tennessee Valley, but it's all about that cold weather. So your 3-day threat tracker breaks down like this. I'm going to leave you in a caution light for the rest of today. Could see a couple more slick spots on the roadways depending on where you're at. As we head into tomorrow, those AM temperatures will feel below zero with that wind. So you're going to need all the layers as you head out the door on Thursday. By Friday, slightly warmer. We're talking upper 30s. Low 40s for your afternoon highs. So by then, things will start to improve. Right now, 31 triple Doppler. Quiet and dry across the Tennessee Valley. Could see a snowflake or two across the area over the next few hours. Most of us, though, will continue to stay dry. Here's what we're looking at across the southeast, and that storm system that brought the snow to our areas moving off to our east, and we will start to see better conditions. Here's a look outside at Huntsville right now, still hanging out at 28 degrees. So I do think some of the area will struggle a little bit to get above freezing the rest of the day today. For most of us, we're in those 20s, 37 in Guntersville, 39 in Fort Payne, 33 right now in Scottsboro. And we will hang out in the lower 30s through the afternoon hours today. It's tomorrow morning when those bitter temperatures really take a turn, and we'll only be in the 20s for afternoon highs tomorrow. I'll be back in just a couple of minutes and we'll talk about how cold it will get tomorrow. But first, let's send things over to our own Jim Abbott, who's in our WAAY 31 Storm Tracker powered by Lynn Layton Chevrolet. Jim, what are you seeing out on those roadways right now?
Well, Amber, it's a nice surprise the way the roads have been this morning. A lot better than we might have expected. Of course, we knew AlDOT had gone out and pre-treated the roads with that salt brine on a lot of the major roadways, Memorial Parkway and 565 being part of that. Earlier this morning, of course, we were seeing some slickness on overpasses and bridges, but not really seeing as much of that now. We're on 565. Let me give you an updated look. We are heading out in Madison right now, and you can see we're in the left lane here. Some of the lanes actually in the last couple of minutes we've noticed have started drying, which is certainly encouraging. We checked in with HPD not that long ago. Just one road in Huntsville right now that is closed, and that is Bankhead Parkway above Gaslight, kind of that hairpin turn that can certainly be dangerous just in dry conditions. A little bit slick there right now, but we are not seeing any problems out there right now. Wet is all there is on the roadways, the major roadways, as far as that is concerned. Now, we talked with Public Works Director Chris McNeese just a little while ago this morning. His crews are still out there finding any hot spots, some slick spots that they have, so they'll continue doing that well into the afternoon, though the mode of what they're doing has changed a little bit since the storm this morning.
We're going to be working closely with HPD on any isolated black ice areas, and we're going to be responding to those areas, obviously treating them with salt to get them to melt up. So we'll just be working closely with first responders on any roadway locations where there is ice located.
And it was really quite fascinating. Julia Miller and I were both in the EMA office this morning, and they were getting real-time messages as far as where some of the problem spots were. Public Works were out there right away handling that. In fact, we're coming up not too far from the AlDOT station here. We were behind one of their trucks, which was out laying down some more salt brine this morning just to make sure that there weren't any slick spots. And again, we're not really seeing a whole lot of that right now. We'll keep you up to date on the road conditions to see if we're seeing anything else. Of course, HPD and other, state troopers are all telling us the same thing. Make sure you still slow down. You definitely don't want to be going fast. Accidents that we saw this morning We're in the inside lanes, kind of by the median. Drivers going a little too fast for the conditions there. Stay here, and we'll keep you up to date. Live in the WAAY 31 Storm Tracker in Huntsville with coverage you can count on. Jim Abbott, WAAY 31 News.
All right, Jim Abbott, we thank you so much for that report. Be careful out there. Today's snow is bringing with it some bitter cold temperatures that will last several days. And you can bet that has first responders reminding everybody, beware of frostbite. They say frostbite can quickly damage fingers and toes. And say if you feel a little numbness in those fingers or toes, or if they start to change color, get inside quickly. Several Huntsville agencies are opening warming centers this week to make sure everybody has a warm place to ride out this cold. And you can see that list of warming centers on our screen right there, along with their addresses. We have that same information on our website if you need to check it out there. By the way, Huntsville Transit and Huntsville Police stand ready to give free rides to those warming centers for people who need them. Well, it appears people in northwest Alabama probably have the most snow at midday. And right now, we want to turn things over to Maddie McCaffrey in Tuscumbia, where she's been all morning. Maddie, what is it like out there now that the snow has stopped falling?
Hey guys, so we're here, or hey Chris, excuse me, we're here in Tuscumbia where, as you can see, there's no more snowfall, but it is absolutely freezing out here. The wind is picking up, it is just frigid, so if you've got to go outside, be sure to be bundled up, wear multiple layers. Now let's talk about the roads. Right now, the main roads, they're looking relatively clear. There's a lot of traffic on them. The only thing is they are pretty wet, so there are going to be some slick spots on them, but the places that you need to worry about are those bridges and overpasses. That's where officials say that they're seeing those icy conditions. So you got to take it really slow and be super careful on those. Listen here to how EMA officials are handling everything.
In the city of Florence, the City and Florence Public Works Department are treating bridges and overpasses throughout the city. The Lauderdale County Road Department are treating their bridges. And then there is an ALDOT crew that is working the area along Highway 72, and that will include Singing River Bridge, O'Neill Bridge, as well as Shoal Creek, Second Creek, and Elk River.
Now, as you heard, they're working hard to take care of these roads to keep everybody safe. But one thing that they are worried about right now is black ice. As the temperatures, as Amber has been saying, are going to drop overnight, that's definitely a chance for refreezing. So that's something that they're looking at very closely. And another thing is the county roads are a little bit treacherous, they say, just because there are some snow accumulation on those roads. So the biggest thing is drive slow, be careful, and just stay far behind from the person in front of you. Reporting live in Tuscumbia with coverage you can count on, Maddie McCaffrey, WAAY 31 News.
Huntsville city leaders are about to clamp down on drivers with loud mufflers and exhaust systems. City leaders approved a new noise ordinance last week. It lays out harsher fines for violators and even jail time for people who don't fix their mufflers to make them quieter.
I'm excited that they're doing something about it. I hear it multiple times a day, and I think it's kind of selfish when people have cars that loud for no reason. So I'm really excited that they're not going to be able to do it anymore and that there's consequences for it.
Well, that new noise ordinance takes effect March 1st. One organization is pushing Alabama lawmakers to add a new holiday to the state calendar. NAACP leaders gathered at the state capitol in Montgomery yesterday to show their support for both a House and a Senate bill that would make Juneteenth a state holiday. It's already a federal holiday. Yesterday was Legislative Advocacy Day at the Capitol. The NAACP hopes more people will reach out to lawmakers to let them know which bills they support or even object to.
If you support a bill, come down and let your legislator know. If you oppose it, tell them that you oppose that bill and why, so that they can hear from their constituents and the community at large, because a lot of times they sit back and behind these doors and they negotiate among themselves.
We're working right now to learn how soon lawmakers will consider those Juneteenth bills. The widow of Steve Perkins has until the end of the day to amend her federal lawsuit against the city of Decatur and 3 former police officers. That amended version will drop the city of Decatur from the suit and will also drop some complaints against some of the other defendants. Last August, a judge ordered this case be settled in arbitration. Decatur police shot and killed Steve Perkins outside his house, you'll recall, back in 2023. When we come back, details of new tariffs President Trump now plans to impose that could start as soon as April. And criticism President Trump now getting from Ukraine's president.
Snowy scenes all across the Tennessee Valley this morning. I'll tell you how long the cold weather will stick around coming up.
Coverage you can count on. You're watching WAAY 31 News, midday.
(11:13) right now. President Trump wants some foreign car, computer chip, and pharmaceutical companies to consider relocating their plants to the U.S. So he is about to levy some hefty tariffs against some companies that make those products. Now, those tariffs could be as high as 25%. We're working to learn which countries he plans to levy those tariffs against. They would go into effect in April. The president says that would give those companies time to consider moving their operations to the U.S. to avoid those tariffs. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky now accusing President Trump of living in what he calls a Russian-made disinformation space. Comes after Mr. Trump accused Zelensky of starting the war with Russia. ABC's Karen Travers picks up the story from there.
In Ukraine, rescue operations are underway in Odessa after a Russian drone strike today injured 4 people, including a child, and caused widespread power outages. Russia winning on the battlefield and the war of words. Ukrainian President Zelensky today accusing President Trump of living in what he calls a Russian-made disinformation space. Yesterday, Trump making a stunning and false accusation that Zelensky started the war with Russia.
You've been there for 3 years. You should have ended it 3 years. You should have never started it. You could have made a deal.
That, in fact, is not correct. Russia invaded Ukraine. Russian troops marching over its eastern border on February 24th, 2022. Yesterday, American and Russian officials sitting face-to-face for the first time in almost 3 years, discussing how to end the war. But the talks did not include any Ukrainian or European officials at the table.
I came away today convinced that they are willing to begin to engage in a serious process.
Russian President Putin smiling today as he spoke about the results of those talks, saying President Trump is finally getting objective information. President Trump's envoy to Ukraine and Russia arrived today in the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv as part of the effort to end the war.
Part of my
mission is to sit and listen and say, okay, what are your concerns? Where are we at? So we can go back to the United States, talk to President Trump.
President Zelensky also blasted President Trump's claims that Zelensky only has a 4% approval rating among Ukrainians. Recent polls there show Zelensky with over 50% approval. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
When we come back, how menopause could put hearts at risk. Well, doctors now warning signs of menopause could also mean you're at higher risk for heart problems. ABC's Jacqueline Lee explains.
The American Heart Association says that heart disease is the leading cause of death for women, even more so than breast cancer. During menopause, hormonal changes and weight gain can have a big effect on heart health. In fact, 1 in 4 women may have irregular heart rhythms, and those who go through menopause early face a 40% higher risk of heart disease. That's why recognizing these risks early is so important. Since many women live nearly half their lives after menopause, paying attention to heart health is essential. This means eating right, exercising, and getting regular medical checkups. With this Medical Minute, I'm Jacqueline Lee.
They're dealing with dangerous winter weather. In the West, the deadly avalanches are causing problems. In the plains, folks are dealing with wind chills of 60 below. And in New York, there is a growing concern about a shortage of salt to treat roads.
We're doing the best we can with what we have. We had a delivery that was scheduled for last week. It still hasn't come in yet, and we're expecting it any day now.
As much as 6 inches of snow could fall in Kentucky, where some people still don't have electricity after floods over the weekend that killed 14 people.
Now, WAAY 31 Storm Tracker meteorologist Amber Kulick with 31 triple Doppler.
What folks in other part of the country are dealing with makes this little snow on the ground seem trivial, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
But those cold temperatures that we're about to deal with, now that's nothing to play with.
It's not, no. We're talking feels like temperatures below zero tomorrow morning. So now that the snow has fallen, It's all about the temperatures. Let's go ahead and take a look outside at our WAAY 31 Skycam network powered by Thompson Roofing and Construction. It's another snowy view across the Tennessee Valley, 2 in 1 year. How did we get so lucky? Temperatures hanging out in the upper 20s, low 30s across the Tennessee Valley. Now, I do think we will make it above freezing across much of the area, but it's going to take a few hours to get there. 31 triple Doppler right now is quiet across the Tennessee Valley. May see a snowflake or two over the next few hours, but I do think most of us are done and we will stay dry as we move through the next couple of days. A wider view across the southeast, though, shows that storm system that brought the snow across the area moving off to our east. Places like the Virginias and North and South Carolina starting to see that snow now, and we won't have to worry about it again for quite some time. So here's what we're looking at as we move through the rest of the day today. Not going to see a whole lot in the way of sunshine. Some areas may see a couple of peaks here or there. Most of us will stay cloudy through the rest of your Wednesday. Heading into the overnight hours, cloud cover stays with us and clouds to start off on your Thursday as well. By tomorrow afternoon, sunshine will return, but don't let it fool you at all because our temperatures tomorrow will only warm into the upper 20s for your actual air temperatures. Heading into the overnight hours Thursday into Friday, we'll keep mostly clear skies, and that is going to allow our temperatures to fall once again into the teens. So we're talking pipe bursting weather over the next couple of nights here. Make sure you leave those faucets dripping. Sunshine will be with us throughout the day on Friday. Here's what we're looking at for your current temperatures across the area. 28 right now in Huntsville and Decatur and Coleman, 36 degrees in Gunnersville, it's 39 in Fort Payne and 33 in Scottsboro. So Sand Mountain actually warmer than the rest of us for the time being. Your afternoon highs today, 37 in Rainsville, 38 degrees in Scottsboro, 33 up towards Hazel Green and Meridianville, 36 in Faultville, 36 in Florence, and 35 in Russellville for your afternoon high today. After today, though, tomorrow will be one of the coldest days that we've seen in quite some time. The good news about today, although it's going to make it feel a whole lot colder, the wind gusts will actually help dry the roads out. But I would expect a couple of slick spots first thing tomorrow morning. So take it slow on that morning commute on Thursday. And it's all about the overnight lows for the next few nights. We're talking 17 overnight tonight and looking at 15 tomorrow night. So yes, leave that faucet dripping and maybe leave a couple dripping as we head into Friday night. We'll still be in those lower 20s for overnight lows. But it's all about the winds tomorrow morning. Here's your feel-like temperatures as you head out the door at 6 a.m. on Thursday. We're talking below zero for much of the Tennessee Valley. Doesn't get much better tomorrow afternoon. Feels like temperatures will stay in the lower teens. And then we're going to do it all over again on Friday, waking up for some of us feeling below zero again. And then by Friday afternoon, back into the teens. Good news for you, though. The weekend looks a little warmer. We'll be in the 40s by Saturday, right at 50 degrees on Sunday, and it's all up from there. We're talking 60s as we head into next week, almost 70 degrees both Tuesday and Wednesday. By Thursday, we'll be tracking our next system, but warm enough that it will stay all rain. And we won't have to worry about that wintry weather. So I'm really looking forward to a Monday for the first time in a long time because after this, we earn the 60s for sure.
I'm not going to lie. After this week, that 48 on Saturday is going to feel good.
I know. Looking forward to the 40s. Goodness.
Amber, thank you so much. When we come back, you're going to meet some cutie pies in this week's Wag Your Tail Wednesday. You don't want to miss it. And that music means it is Wag Your Tail Wednesday here at WAAY 31. So first of all, we're going to look at a pair of dachshunds. This is Cooper. There we go. What a handsome little fella. Owner says he is full of energy and that he loves fun. Also says he joined their family and he is only 8. Oh, look at this, Amber. He's only 8 weeks old. Isn't he a cutie pie? And we have Rambo. Rambo's a cutie pie too. Rambo wakes up the entire house early in the morning every day. Her family says she doesn't like to miss breakfast ever. And of course, also likes to watch, we understand, our WAAY 31 News morning show. So from Demetria and Grace and me, we sure do appreciate that. But we love to show off your pets, and we would love to show off more of them. All you have to do is upload a picture of them to our website, waaytv.com. Make sure you tell us a little bit about them so we can talk about them here on air. Well, we are monitoring roads for you across North Alabama on this snowy and cold Wednesday. And straight ahead, live reports from the Shoals and right here in Huntsville.
Coverage you can count on. You're watching WAAY 31 News Midday.
So much for staying with us for this second half of WAAY 31 News Midday on this Wednesday. It is a cold and snowy Wednesday for sure. And right now we want to check in with Storm Tracker meteorologist Amber Kulick to figure out where that snow is, how cold it's going to get, and what we can do to try to keep ourselves and our families safe during all this.
Whew, bundle up. Bundle up for sure by tomorrow morning, because here's your feels like temperatures as you head out the door on Thursday morning. This is 6 a.m. We're talking below zero is what it's going to feel like across the area. So you're going to need all the layers possible by tomorrow morning. So let's go ahead and take a look at your 3-day threat tracker. Today I'm going to leave you in the caution light because we could see a couple slick spots on the roadways, maybe a few more snow flurries, but I do think most of the snow is out of here and we will start to dry out. By Thursday, those feel like temperatures in the morning will be below zero, looking a little better as we head towards Friday. We'll finally make it up into the upper 30s, low 40s for your afternoon high. So let's go ahead and talk about where the snow's at now. It's not across the Tennessee Valley. WAAY 31 triple Doppler is quiet and dry. So here's a look across the southeast, and what brought us the snow has now moved off to our east. We're talking snow falling in the Virginias and North Carolina. For us, starting to quiet down, and it will stay that way as we move into the next few days. Here's a look outside right now at Decatur. It is cloudy and there's snow already on the ground. Temperatures hanging out in those upper 20s for the time being. I do think we'll make it right at freezing or just above freezing for your afternoon highs today. Winds out of the north at 17 miles per hour, though. That's going to help dry the roads as we move into the next few hours. Through the rest of the day today, some of us will make it up to about 34 for your afternoon high, and a few slick spots on the roadways possible. But again, that north wind will help dry the roads as we head through the rest of the afternoon hours. I'll be back in just a couple of minutes, and we'll talk about exactly how cold things will go tomorrow and a warm up headed our way as we move towards the weekend and the start of next week.
Lord, don't we love those words, warm up right now. Amber, thank you. People in Northwest Alabama by now do have the most snow. That's where it started as it, of course, moved into North Alabama. We turn right now to WAAY 31's Paige Meyer. She is in Tuscumbia where she's been all morning long. Paige, what's it like out there right now?
Hey, good morning again, Chris. Yes, we are still in Tuscumbia off of Highway 72 here, and it's still cold, but the snow is no longer coming down. Now you can see it has clung to the grass here, but if you can see a little bit in the distance, the roads are looking clear. Now, as the temperatures are expected to get colder and the winds are picking up, the potential and threat of black ice is just becoming all the more likely. Now, I was talking to travelers today, and some say that it was just their average Wednesday. The roads were fine coming to where we're at this Love's traffic stop in Tuscumbia, while others say that they hit patches of black ice and they fear that it may get worse as the day goes on.
There is one or two patches of black ice that you got to watch out for. I mean, you don't know it till you're on it and sliding.
Now, the Florence Lauderdale County EMA says they have been treating these roads. They've been doing so since midnight, since 12 a.m. today. And they said that they have gotten reports of a few black ice patches here and there, but they are staying on top of it, making sure to treat the roads as quickly as possible to make them as safe as possible for you to drive on. Now, they say just give yourself in the car in front of you a little bit more space than you typically would and give yourself a few more minutes to get to where you're needing to go today. And as we've been telling you all morning, it is cold. Make sure to bundle up. If you think you have enough layers on, pack a few more, bring some more in the car. It wouldn't hurt. Reporting live in Tuscumbia with coverage you can count on. Paige Meyer, WAAY 31 News.
Paige, thank you. We do know indeed there is black ice on some of these roads because Huntsville police say by 8 o'clock this morning they had responded to 20 crashes around the city alone and say a lot of them were literally because people were not adjusting their driving to the road conditions out there right now. So do be careful on those roads. We don't get a lot of snow days in Alabama, but we have had a few this year. And we want to show you some pictures people are taking of their snow days. So right now, let's see, look at this. All that snow out there. We want to see your pictures, though. If you've got pictures, I'm not sure what we're looking at, where this is exactly, but you can see that snow. Look at that. Now, that's a beautiful winter wonderland there. If you've got pictures, upload them to our website, WAAYTV.com, because you are helping us tell the story of what this snow is doing in your area, and we would just love to help show some of those right here on TV to tell this story. Well, right now, we want to check in with WAAY 31's Julia Miller. She is in our WAAY 31 storm tracker checking on those road conditions right here in the Rocket City. Hey, Julia, what are you seeing out there this morning?
Hey Chris, we are on Memorial Parkway where road conditions are looking much better than they did when we last spoke just a few hours ago. Let me give you a live look at what we're seeing here. You can tell the roads are pretty dry here. Most of the wet spots we saw earlier have dried up, and the pre-treatment and retreatment we saw today, I really feel like made a huge difference on these major roads. We spoke with Sergeant Chris Jackson with HPD today. He says over the next couple of hours, they will work very closely with Public Works to contain any slick spots regardless of where you're driving, though. He warns drivers today that they have already responded to 20 crashes.
It's been people that have not been respecting the weather conditions that they're driving in. You've got a wintry mix that's out on the roadways. You've got rain that's came in over the night, and you've got cold temperatures, which means that there is a potential for black ice on the roadway, which means you've got to slow down. You've got to take your time. You've got to stop driving like it's 80 degrees and sunny outside.
He says right now there's one road closed, and that's Bankhead Parkway above Gaslight. He warns drivers about the possibility of black ice tonight and once again just encourages people to slow down and be extra cautious today and going forward. Live in the Storm Tracker with coverage you can count on, Julia Miller, WAAY 31 News.
And when we come back, the verdict is in the case of rapper A$AP Rocky.
You'll need to leave those faucets dripping over the next couple of nights. I'll have all those details for you coming up.
Welcome back, everybody. It is right now 11:39 on this Wednesday. A jury says rapper A$AP Rocky is not guilty of assault. It took those jurors about 6 hours to reach that verdict. Prosecutors say he shot a friend back in 2021.
The whole experience has been crazy for the past 4 years, but I'm thankful. Nonetheless, I'm thankful, and we're blessed to be here right now, to be a free man talking to y'all. Thank you. All praise due to God.
Again, that jury found him not guilty of felony assault. Lawyers for rapper Sean P. Diddy Combs are now asking a judge to dismiss his transportation to engage in prostitution charge. Those lawyers say that's because the charge is based on racism. Well, they argue it has historically been used to target black men. Prosecutors have since called that argument baseless. Actress Blake Lively now claims more women on the set of It Ends With Us had concerns about her co-star Justin Baldoni. She leveled those accusations against him in her newly amended sexual harassment claim. Now, in it, she says those women made complaints accusing him of unwelcome behavior, and she says he then told them in writing he'd make adjustments before claiming he began a smear campaign against her. Well, more people are now facing charges in connection with a string of burglaries on celebrity and athlete homes. ABC's Janai Norman actually has more about that investigation.
This morning, this is the picture prosecutors say shows at least 3 of the 7 alleged members of a South American crime ring posing with a safe and jewelry shortly after the November robbery at Milwaukee Bucks player Bobby Portis's home.
And they took most of my prized possessions.
Prosecutors have now charged these men as part of an alleged criminal enterprise accused of transporting stolen goods from the homes of high-profile athletes, including Kansas City Chiefs stars Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, and Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow.
Burrow, sideline, chase, spin, touchdown Bengals.
Someone is trying to break into the house right now. My daughter is there. This is Joe Burrow's house.
According to the complaint, the burglars had a clear and consistent MO, identifying a target based on publicly available schedules showing where the athletes would be, entering homes either through broken windows or by using a crowbar to pry open a sliding door, and once inside, helping themselves to high-value items like watches, jewelry, and designer goods.
It's frustrating, it's disappointing. But I mean, I can't get into too many of the details because the investigation is still ongoing.
Then, the first break in the case a month ago when Ohio State Highway Patrol officers apprehended 4 Chilean nationals.
Where are you guys headed to today, sir? Orlando? Wrong way. Florida's that way.
Inside their car, officers finding a shirt from LSU, where Burrow starred in college, and a Bengals hat, both believed to have been taken from the star player's home. Police say all of the men were in the country illegally.
They come into the country, they use alias names, they many times will bring false passports with them to go open bank accounts. And once they can do that, whatever they can turn stolen goods into cash, they then wire the money back to their homeland, and then they leave.
Just 2 weeks ago, more arrests after the FBI charged the owners of a pawn shop in Manhattan's Diamond District with selling some of the stolen goods.
NASA scientists now upgrading the chance that an asteroid could hit the Earth in the next 10 years. Why they say they're not worried right now, though. Welcome back, everybody. It's right now about 1:15, and NASA scientists say they are keeping an even closer eye on an asteroid they say could hit the Earth in a few years. Now, they first discovered that 300-foot wide asteroid in December, Right now, scientists believe it has a 3% chance of hitting Earth by the end of 2032. Those scientists say they'll only have a few chances to view it before that possible impact.
Next month and in May, the James Webb Space Telescope will take its shot at looking at this object. We'll get a much better idea of its size. Those observations will really pin down its orbit.
Well, if that asteroid were to hit Earth, those scientists believe it would likely hit an area without people. I'd still shake us all up to it.
Now, WAAY 31 Storm Tracker meteorologist Amber Kulick with 31 triple Doppler.
Man, that's something scientists saying, oh, we're not worried about this. But then you tell us and get us worried.
We don't need anything else to worry about right now.
It's 3%. But come on, even an area of the Earth without people, we're all going to feel the impact of an asteroid that big.
And we're feeling the impact of snow across the Tennessee
I'm over
Valley.
that impact. And the cold impact is about to be even worse.
It is, yeah. The cold is definitely going to be worse than the snow that we're dealing with right now. Here's a look outside at our WAAY 31 Skycam network, powered by Thompson Roofing and Construction. And some of us still below freezing at this point. Most of us across the Huntsville Metro looking at 28 degrees in Huntsville, 28 in Decatur, over in Muscle Shoals coming in at 27. Now Guntersville, you finally made it up to 36 degrees. I do think most of us will be able to make it above freezing today, but it's going to take a few more hours to get there. 31 triple Doppler right now is quiet. The snow has moved out. May see another snow flurry or two for the next few hours, but most of us are done. Here's a look across the southeast. Quiet across much of Alabama, but just off to our east is where you will find that storm system that brought us the snow. It's now snowing across the Virginias and North Carolina. Again, we're not going to have to worry about any more precipitation for a while. Here's what we're looking at through the rest of the day today. Some of us may get to see a couple of breaks in the clouds, but for most of us, we will end up staying cloudy through the rest of your Wednesday. Heading into the overnight hours tonight, we'll keep the cloud cover with us. By tomorrow afternoon, sunshine returns, but don't let it fool you at all because our high temperatures for Thursday will only be in the upper 20s. Heading into Thursday night, skies will remain mostly clear, which is going to allow those temperatures to fall once again into the teens as we head into your Friday morning. By Friday evening, clear skies and slightly warmer temperatures. Speaking of temperatures, here's what we're looking at outside right now. Now, Sand Mountain, a little warmer than the rest of us, 33 in Scottsboro, 36 degrees in Guntersville, 40 degrees right now in Fort Payne. Here in Huntsville coming in at 28 in Decatur as well. Heading into the afternoon hours today, temperatures will warm a little, 38 in Scottsboro, 37 over in Rainsville, 36 in Faultville, 35 in Decatur, 34 in Athens today. Out in the Shoals, looking at 36 in Florence and 35 in Cherokee for your afternoon high. Enjoy the 30s because they will not be with us tomorrow. Some good news, although it will make it feel a lot colder this afternoon. Wind gusts around 20 miles per hour will help dry the roadways, but I do think there is a possibility that we could see some black ice first thing tomorrow morning, so you need to take it slow on your Thursday morning commute. But the big story will be the cold. Tonight, dropping down to 17, leave the faucet dripping. Tomorrow night, even colder, looking at 15 for that overnight low as we head into your Friday morning. Leave the faucet dripping for sure by then. Now, as we head into Friday night, still looking at those lower 20s, so I would at least leave one faucet dripping by then. And the winds will stay breezy as we head through the next couple of days. Tomorrow morning, headed out the door at 6 a.m., it's going to feel below zero across much of the Tennessee Valley. And by tomorrow afternoon, those feel-like temperatures only warm into the lower teens across the area. So you will still need all the layers at any point throughout your Thursday. Friday morning, we're going to do it all over again, feeling like below zero for some of the Tennessee Valley and only warming into the teens as we head into the late morning hours for those feel-like temperatures on your Friday. Now, as we head towards the weekend, a little good news for you. We will warm into those upper 40s for highs by Saturday, right at 50 degrees on Sunday. It's after Sunday that we really start to see things warm up. Here's your 10-day forecast. I've never looked forward to a Monday more than I look forward to next Monday because we're going to be in those lower 60s for afternoon highs by Tuesday and Wednesday. Well, we might just hit 70 degrees across some of the area. A little cooler as we head into Thursday with our next storm system moving through here, but we will be in the middle 50s. So we're talking just rain for that event. hopefully, fingers crossed, we
Fingers
are
crossed.
done with the winter weather, because 2 in 1 year, that's
get
too
all
much.
the blackberry winter and redbud. We get all those out of the way, and let's just have nice warm spring.
Please.
When we come back, we're gonna introduce you some cutie pies in this week's Wag Your Tail Wednesday. Don't go away. Dun-dun. There you go. That means it is Wag Your Tail Wednesday. And I want to introduce you, first of all, to Chip. Chip, oh, look at that cutie pie from Madison. One of his favorite things to do is watch WAAY 31 news and weather. Well, Lord, Chip, you got plenty to watch right now, don't you? Happy to have you with us, Chip. And then we have Rosie. Oh, look at this little darling. So this sweet little girl's from Decatur. And as you can tell, one of her favorite times of year is Mardi Gras. Look at that. Well, we love to share your critters on our news here, so we would love to share more of them. All you have to do is upload a picture of your pet to our website, is waaytv.com. Be sure to tell us a little bit about them so we can talk intelligently about them right here on TV. One man's now able to prove he really is the best at using Microsoft Excel out of everybody in the world. So he just recently won the Microsoft Excel World Championship in Las Vegas. During that competition, competitors are tasked with programming Excel to play a game as fast as possible. Well, that champion says his math skills and job in finance likely helped him. I don't get Excel, and I'm glad that's somebody else's competition. I'm horrible with it.
Well, I wish.
Just draw me some lines on the paper, and I'll fill in the blanks in between.
I wish Mother Nature would calm down a little bit at
She
her
needs
job.
to sober up a little bit.
Yeah. If you're headed out this afternoon, be careful on the roadways, although all the roads are open across Huntsville now. May see a flurry or two over the next few hours, but the next 10 days, looking forward to a Monday, will finally be in the 60s by then, and it cannot come soon enough.
You mentioned roads back open. Bankhead Parkway in Huntsville had been closed. We just learned a little bit ago that is reopened. Still be careful on those roads. We'll see you back here at 4.